Thank you for visiting my RC channel. My name is Bill and I'm an RC radio control enthusiast, and I also do RC reviews. Thank you for joining me for this review of this Diatone GTB229 105mm 2.5 inch 2-cell FPV RC quadcopter drone, supplied courtesy of Banggood.com to review and share with you. Comes in this box, and if I open it, get these Diatone stickers or decals. Get 4 65mm props with a 1.5mm hole, but unfortunately no spare propellers. And the Diatone GTB229. So this is to use with a 2-cell battery. You can also get the 239 to use with a 3-cell battery. Then you can get the 3-inch 329 to use with a 2-cell battery too, and also a 3-inch 339 to use with a 3-cell battery. This is a PMP plug-and-play version, so it doesn't come with a receiver. You need to plug in your own receiver. We get this packet as well with a battery strap, connections to connect the receiver, a couple of connections to connect the buzzer because the buzzer doesn't come attached, and here's the buzzer in here. Get spare screws and some cable ties or zip ties. No hex or Allen key. To remove these screws, and no instruction manual, but as you can see here, you can download the instruction manual by scanning this QR code, and I'll put a link in the description too. Tells us the VTX is not unlocked by default and where to go to look for the manual for the TBS Unify Pro 32 Nano to do this, and the detailed information on the Diatone US site. So this comes with a Mamba F411 Nano flight controller with betaflight OSD. And here is a picture of the specs and the flight controller diagram. Also comes with Mamba 134 13 amp D-Shot 600 4-in-1 ESCs. And as I mentioned, it comes with the TBS Unify Pro 32 Nano VTX that has 37 channels and 25 milliwatts, 100 milliwatts or 400 milliwatt output. The 5.8 gigahertz antenna secured at the back here. And although it'll be good if this could come with the channel table, here's a picture of the bands and channels. The camera on here, which is adjustable, is a Runcam Nano 2 camera, a 700 TVL resolution CMOS camera, 2.1mm with a 155-degree field of view. The motors are Mamba Racing MB1103 motors, and you can get this with 8,500 kV or 10,000 kV. So I've got the one with the 10,000 kV brushless motors. Battery connection is an XT30 plug, and got a battery strap on here already, so the one in the packet here is a spare battery strap, which is good. Props just push on and pull off, so I hope they stay on quite securely. And when you got push on and pull off props, and also no protectors, it's always good that this should come with additional spare propellers, because one little mishap and you've got to wait until you can source spare propellers. So I would recommend, if you get this, order some spare propellers too, and I'll put a link in the description for spare propellers as well. The frame, as I mentioned, 105mm. It may not look strong, but this feels very, very strong. 3mm carbon fiber. The way it's structured, it really does feel indestructible, but I'm sure it's not. And the recommended batteries for this are 2-cell 450 mAh and also 300 mAh 2-cell batteries. So I need to connect up my own receiver, so I'll be putting on this FrSky XM Plus receiver. So let me just take the canopy off. So just need to loosen these two screws, and if I lift the hood here, you can see the TBS Unify Pro 32 VTX on the top here. And then if I move this out of the way here, you can see this little button over here, and this is a button to press to unlock and also to change power bands and channels. Is accessible if this is on top here with something quite long that you can stick through here. And then to connect the buzzer, you'd need to remove the VTX, and this is the buzzer that one would need to find a position for. And this also comes with these two plugs with wires that plug into the buzzer. Over here. We also get this connector with wires, 5-pin onto a 4-pin, and this 4-pin with 4 wires to connect onto a receiver. And then this plugs into here. Let me just connect the battery. And then to unlock the VTX, press and hold this button here down for about 25 seconds. At the moment we can see a solid blue light. Now it goes off. Got a red and blue light flashing. Says it's unlocked. and then just press and hold for 3 seconds to save. Press and hold for 3 seconds again, and release. Then I should get a solid blue light. Let me just disconnect and reconnect. Okay, so now I think it's just giving us the coding for the various bands and channels, and that should be the VTX unlocked. If you need to lock it again, just press and hold the button down for about 25 seconds again. And here I have got a solid blue light. Let me just connect up the receiver, get it tucked away. I won't put the buzzer on for now, and get the radio controller ready to bind. And before I forget, this also comes with some spare nylon screws, nuts, and a couple of standoffs. But the standoffs that are on here already are quite interesting. Looks like it's soft mounted with 3 rubber or silicone O-rings. So I've got the receiver all connected up. Now the XM Plus is not the smallest receiver around, but it's best to put heat shrink on and cover all the contacts because we don't want anything shorting out. And it does fit quite nicely and quite comfortably up there. I'll just need to tuck these cables away where it won't interfere either, and then secure the hood back on. I've also got it bound to my Taranis X9 Lite Pro radio controller, so I won't go through binding process because it will depend what receiver and what radio controller you choose to put on this. And I'll just show you the betaflight settings now. Okay, here we are connected to betaflight configurator version 10.5.1. And the first thing I always recommend is do a backup by clicking on backup here. And then go and put this backup file in a directory of your choosing for defaults. And also backup the CLI. So if you don't know how to do this, just do a search for backing up CLI and you'll find quite a lot of information showing you how to do this. And then after you made your changes and settings, it's a good thing to back up the file again and also the CLI. When you finish backing up, we look at ports. Here on UART1, we've got serial RX enabled, and on UART2, we've got VTX enabled for smart audio over here. Have a look at configuration. Codex D-Shot 600, motor set to spin when armed. Settings here. Craft name is Diatone, and then because I'm using an FR Sky receiver, I'm serial based SpecSat and S-Bus. And then got soft serial, telemetry, LED strip, OSD, anti-gravity, dynamic filter enabled here. Then under beeper configuration, everything enabled, although I haven't connected up the beeper. Power and battery, I've set minimum cell voltage to 3.1, maximum 4.5, and warning cell voltage 3.3. Failsafe set to drop, which is fine. And then these are the PIDs that I've got. A good receiver. Let me just plug in a battery. I've got throttle, I've got yaw, pitch, and I've got roll. And I'm set on TAER, 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, depending on what radio controller that you use, you'll have yours set accordingly. We look at modes. I've got arm disarm set on auxiliary 2. Angle mode set in the middle position on auxiliary 3. Horizon in the lower position on auxiliary 3. Air mode and acro mode at the top end of auxiliary 3 on a 3-way switch. And flip over after crash on auxiliary 5. Look at OSD. I've set it up so I've got main battery voltage, timer 2, which is fly time, fly mode, craft name, V2X channel, warnings, and average cell voltage. Sets on to auto for PAL or NTSC, metric, and the layout you'll see in the FPV video. And these are all the basic settings I have in betaflight. And then remember to back up your own settings and CLI after you make all your changes. And if I just go to CLI and I type in dump, and go to the top, we can see that the target is Mamba F411 MB41 version 3.5.7 dated July the 7th 2019. And we have a look at the total weight now with the props added, receiver, heat shrink, and I've also put 2 little pieces of double-sided tape on the bottom here to help rest the battery on and secure the battery without it digging into the frame. The total weight is only 52 grams without a battery. And now let's go and see how it performs. Let's see how this Diatone, let's just take the Diatone GTB229 for a little line of sight test. Okay, holds nice and steady. Responds well. quite a bit of a breeze, but it hardly even feels it. Very agile. Actually quite easy to fly a line of sight and keep orientation. And hold quite stable too. Oh, quite a punch out. Very nicely. Flies nicely, line of sight as you've seen, and here's video of an FPV flight. Cube GT229 goes on this 450 mAh 2-cell battery. Got a strong wind, but we'll give it a try and see how it does. This performed very well, particularly in the strong wind. Can hardly even feel it. Really responds well. Agile. Impressed with the speed. Camera quality good. And a flying time of just under 4 minutes on a 450 mAh 2-cell battery. A great little cube. So, please subscribe, like, comment and share if you like my videos.